Hey guys, and welcome back to Crow Country. When we last left off, we'd found our battery. Now, we've come back underground to try and charge it up. Julie has gone missing, which is unfortunate. She seems to be having a pretty rough time. Rougher than most. After being packed up in a shipping container, and then, disappearing, she's not having a great time. Let's just say that. Hopefully, we find out what's happened to her. Right, let's get this battery charged. And I do like the fact that technically we've got a limited inventory, but when it's full, it's because we have every item in the game. I do like that. Right, let's charge this battery. And with that, it's time to try and find Mr. Crow. There we go. Fully charged. Now hopefully we don't get shot by whoever's going a little bit free and easy with the weapons. And we probably don't want to get zapped by that either. You know, let's just go upstairs. It's fine. We'll make our own way. And you know what? This kind of brings us up here. This is almost perfect, actually. Right. We're going to put the Magnum away. We'll keep the handgun. Now, let's go back to the Crow. Okay. It's pretty quiet out here. And it has stopped raining, which is nice, but it has become extremely dark. I do like the way this game transitions. You know, it feels like time's moving on. Alright, let's get you powered up, my friend. There's a large empty slot in the back. Seems like just the perfect place to put a battery, doesn't it? That'll do. Now, let's get you out the way. There's a button. Crow walking sequence. Get the hell out of here. And just like that, he walks out of my life. I like that. Mara's got a nice bit of personality. Actually, if we go all the way to where the Crow has come to a stop, I think she says something. He's making his way out of the park. I don't blame him. It would be nice just to walk away. Yeah, Mara, the tone I'm getting from Mara is she's starting to realize that this is a one-way affair. But that doesn't make sense. She's definitely doesn't appear to be a police officer. That much is fairly obvious. Oh well, I'm sure all of these things will be made abundantly clear. Well, this doesn't look good, does it? We are trapped in the corner. Let's get our flamethrower. My God, there's a lot of them around here. Jeez. Okay. Right. Oh, there's another one coming around the corner. We're really burning through that ammo quick. He seems to be stuck. Right, there we go. You're gone. Let's roast your ass. There's probably not a nice way of dispatching these guys, but, you know, no time for tears and all that. You're finished. In fact, this is probably quite a nasty, cruel way to deal with these guys, but it's either us or them, right? Come on, buddy. You're too far gone to be helped by anyone right now. You can see exactly why I was saving. Ooh. It is interesting, though, how these guests are very human-like. At least they started off very human-like anyway. They're even wearing human clothes. But I suppose we did see a thing, a memo earlier about things being dipped into a pool and coming out wrong. But they weren't dipping people into a pool. No, that doesn't seem right. Oh dear. So this is where all the pipes take us. Shotgun shells. Look at all that gold. There's a med kit there, but we don't need it. And it's a bag. Just a grubby old sports bag. It seems familiar somehow. It's empty. I believe there's handgun ammo in there if you need it. Oh, this doesn't look good. Oh god, it's Harrison. He's dead. Must have been attacked by those... Wait. No, he was shot. Harrison, I'm so sorry. Harrison James. ID number 05061. Date of birth, January 12th, 1965. Oof. Firearms expert. Yeah, well, apparently Mara's a firearm expert as well, but when she was asked about the gun that she had, she either wasn't interested or didn't seem to know. Curious. Well, this is a weird little puzzle. Not exactly a fan of this one, but whatever. It's a staff memo. The mining lanterns are really old and need replacing. Any kind of spark tends to set off the oil that's trapped inside. If that happens, just give it a whack to disperse the oil. The flame should go out. So, yeah, we need to light X amount of these to get through. We don't need a med kit. We could actually use... We could actually use, you know, the handgun bullets, though. Alright, how are we doing? Almost. There we go. Now, unfortunately, we've got to shoot all except 2 of these again. A curious puzzle, for sure. I don't like the fact that you have to use bullets here, though. But it's not too bad. Anyway, then we have to shoot them all again. So I hope you have brought plenty of bullets. That's all I can say. And I think, yeah, we have to light them all. But I guess the handgun is kind of outlived its... Oh, we shoot them all but 1. We've still got a few bullets left. Oh, this place is... hello? What are you doing here? Tolman. I can't let you. Listen, Harrison is dead. Harrison James, the police detective. I know who he is. I'm sorry, Mara. He shouldn't have come here. It was only a matter of time before one of those creatures... He was shot with a gun. Shit. Uh-oh. Do you know who did it? Oh, I think he's probably got a good idea. Marvin, you... Look, kid. This is nothing personal, okay? Put down the gun, Trumbull. And then what, huh? Go home? Forget this whole thing ever happened? The feds will be kicking down my door within the week. I'm culpable for all of this shit. I know. I am too. But Mara is not, so leave her out of this. She knows way too much. You think she won't rat us out? Hell, she already tried. She was getting real chatty with that pretty boy officer. I tried to stop him from coming. I kept telling him to leave. Well, He didn't leave, did he? And neither did you. And now it's too Huh. What was that? No idea. Bullshit. If this is some sort of trick, I ain't... See you later, asshole. Julie, of all things. There's something just ridiculously funny about that sequence. Where am I? Well, Julie, geez, are we glad to see you. I think Miss Barton might want some help getting out of the vent. Right. Julie? Hey, what's going on? What are you doing in there? I'll tell you if you help me out of this thing. Oh gosh, sorry. Let's get her out. So I guess she wasn't horribly killed. Tolman, would you give me a hand? Sure. Julie, I thought you'd been... I mean, I came out of the boat ride and you were gone. There was blood. Something grabbed me, dragged me backwards into the vent. What was it? Whatever it was, there were several more of them hiding out in the pipes. It's pitch black in there. I could hear them, smell them. And what? They tried to kill you? No, mostly they just shook me around. Made a bunch of noise. Shouting, weeping, moaning, whatever you call it. Sounds about right. What do you mean? They're angry, but they don't want to kill us. They're trying to communicate. Mara, you haven't introduced me. Oh, right. Sorry. Julie, this is Tolman. He works for Edward Crowe. And Tolman, this is Julie Barron. She's a lawyer. She was hired by the Marshall family, Elaine Marshall's family. I see. What are you two doing down here? Someone's been killed, shot, a police officer. Goodness me. Tolman here was about to deal with it, weren't you? I'll come with you. I have experience with this kind of thing. Good luck, okay? Thanks. Mara. Something else. Natalie Crowe is waiting in Edward Crowe's office. Would you go see how she's doing? Crowe's daughter? Sure, of course. I'd love a chance to talk to her, actually. You're not. One last thing. Arthur Mole. He's out in the staff parking area. In my white Fiesta. Would you check on him too? I've left him alone way too long. Of course, we can do that. Thank you. Mara, what are you going to do? I'm going to do what I came here to do. We'll be waiting for you by your car, okay? Okay? Thanks. Come along, Mr. Tolman. We've got lots to do. Yeah, it kind of feels like a one-way trip right now, doesn't it? Okay. Held in place by 2 chains. Let's keep going. We haven't come this far now to turn back. Now this here is a pool of water. And we can use this to heal ourselves. And it does not count towards the healing that you use in the game. It looks so clean. Is this a spring? God, that feels better. I didn't realize how filthy I was. It's a pool of water. Yeah, we don't need any more. So every time you use that, it will cure you. It goes down. We know the ladder goes down, Mara. That's why we're here. We've got a nasty bit of business to do. God, this reminds me of Final Fantasy VII so much. It's been a long journey, huh, Mara? It's been an interesting journey. Let's go do what we came here to do. Kind of feels a little bit like Metal Gear 3, huh? Gives me time to have a vape, I suppose. enjoy the wonderful music. And this game does have excellent music. And here we are. Well, this place looks meaty. Ugh. Telephone that's been left off the hook. Some shotgun shells. Let's examine this piece of paper. Somebody's written something here, but I can't make sense of it. It's nonsense. It's a set of photos. Photos taped up on the wall. Natalie Crow, Edward Crow's daughter, Tolman, the engineer, Crow put in charge of the root excavation. The next one is a photo of me. When did he take this? Julie Barron, the lawyer hired by Elaine Marshall's family. Arthur Mole, a teenager who wanted to photograph the guests. Marvin Trumbull, he was responsible for Crow's fake gold mine. Douglas Pike, he was in charge of building the actual theme park. And finally, Harrison James. He was the police officer sent to look for Edward Crow. I do like that little character roundup there. I don't know why. There's just something really final about the whole thing, you know? So, this looks curious. It's a shower. Well, I guess we can have a nice shower. Ah. We've washed the dye out of our hair. How interesting. If we look, where's the thingy? Is it there? Staff memos. Is there one here? Let's see. Harrison James, ID card. Interesting. So, after taking the information off our ID card, we had Harrison James's card all along. So we were the teenager that slashed his tires and stopped him from arriving. Interesting. The plot thickens. So, is that our bike that he was riding? And whose car did we have? But one thing's sure. We're not a police officer. Anyway, there's a Bunsen burner here. We're gonna save the game. And we're gonna continue. It's a bed. This must have been where Crow has been sleeping. The sheets are stained with blood. Huh. What's that? There's a medkit in the microwave. Curious. It's a sealed envelope for Natalie. I won't open it. Fair play. Let's go check out these vials here. 5 glass vials, each with the same pale green liquid inside. I don't know what they're for. I'll leave them alone. There's a lot of this goop everywhere. It's an elevator. Relatively simple way to get up to the surface. Doesn't work anymore. Because somebody's driven a fire axe through the control panel. Ah. Well, you know what? We're actually right at the end, but I did say we're going to finish this game. So that's what we're going to do. It's a large medikit. We can't take it. Should I talk into the intercom? Yes. Mr. Crow. I'm here. I'm in your lab. Hello, Elaine. Open the door. I will. But first, please pick up the glass vials I've laid out on the counter. Why? Please. Fine. So, we're Elaine Marshall. All along. These must have been what Crow was talking about. First, I need to free up some space. I'll put down the other objects I'm carrying. I won't need them. Glass vials. I took the vials. I left in their place all the other items I collected. The police ID card I took from Harrison James. The bronze key given to me by a fairy. The crank handle I found in a safe. The ruby gemstone that was hidden in a painting of a demon. The chain I took from the neck of a mechanical swan. The mask I excavated from a block of resin. The trident I took from a witch's cauldron. The silver key that was hidden in Neptune's palace. The data disk I got from the change machine in an arcade. The acid bottle I took from a cell in a dungeon. The golden key I found trapped inside a fairy's head. The battery I pulled from the stomach of a robotic mermaid. Good times. I love this so much. It's a hazmat suit. It's covered in a fine layer of dust. I guess he's not wearing it anymore. Well. Mr. Crow, I have the vials. Open the door. Stand back. And here we have pool access. Let's go. And there is Mr. Crow. You're not looking so hot there, Chief. Look at the pool. Elaine Marshall. Edward Crow. How long has it been? 2 years? We've never met before. No, I mean since you became infected. 2 years. 2 years since I shut the park. I'm glad you came back. Why would you give a shit? I would offer you a drink, but what are you now? 18? Not quite. And yet you made it all the way down here. You're clearly very stubborn. That's good. Gives me hope. Hope? Tell me, how are you feeling? Bad. Tired. They can't get rid of my infection. It's been getting worse. Of course. I must say I'm relieved they let you out of the hospital. Long enough to... They didn't. I escaped. You see, you really are determined. And all this because you want to kill me, I assume. No. I came because I wanted to tell you something face to face. I need you to know. Go on. Mr. Crow, I'm going to die from this infection. We tried everything. Nothing works. It's going to kill me. But I didn't realize you have it too, the same infection. Of course. Anyone who's been exposed to the guests will have it. Naturally, I was the first. When the first guest emerged from the pool, I tried to help him. I put him in a holding cell, up on the ground level, so we could monitor him more easily. The holding cell, that's where I was attacked. Yes, bringing the guests up to the surface proved to be a mistake. But you look worse than I do. I'm simply further along. My continued exposure to the guests has accelerated the process. Continued exposure? Your bloody escapade today may prove to have a similar effect on you. Oh God. It looks bad. What's it like when it gets that bad? I shall not lie to you. Elaine, do you remember when your family asked me to pay your medical fees? Yeah, they were holding you accountable since I was injured in your park, but you never paid them. My lawyer is trying to take you to court over it. Yes, this was a deliberate decision on my part. Knowing the nature of your illness, I knew there could be no cure found at the hospital. Wait. But there is a cure. I made one. You? How? I had to reverse engineer it. And there he is, working on the bloody mess that had acid dripping on it. I've been studying the highly infectious bacteria on the dead bodies of the guests. New kinds of bacteria that nobody knows about yet. That's been the problem. It's no surprise your doctors were stumped. Those vials from your lab? Yes, you have the cure on your person at this very moment. 5 vials. Enough to cure 5 people. 5? Harrison and Marvin are dead. So that leaves you, me, Natalie, Tolman, Julie, and Arthur. That's 6 people. You didn't make enough vials. You're wrong there. I shall not be taking the cure. You understand where we are right now. You call it the pool. Correct. And I am protruding from its depths the 7 roots. What's left of them after years of you cutting them up, harvesting them for gold. Exactly right. Elaine, look at me, listen. The pool is a gateway, and the guests are human beings who attempted to travel through it and emerged here. Why are they so messed up? Because I have spent the last 10 years dismantling the mechanisms of that gateway. I don't understand. The pool still works, technically, but thanks to me it is severely malfunctioning. You see, the roots are a kind of calibration antenna, necessary to accurately and safely transport those who travel through the pool. Mr. Crow, where are they coming from, the guests? What's on the other side of the pool? You understand now how my excavations have been causing the mutations of the guests. Also understands that the mutations have been getting worse as I cut down more of the roots. The beings that emerge from the pool now, they barely resemble humans at all. Most of them cannot walk, let alone speak. But that first guest who emerged from the pool, all that time ago, he was the least mutated. No. Yes, Elaine. He could speak. Just barely. He told me who he was and why he'd come. He wrote it all down, word for word, on a little piece of paper. And then I went back to harvesting the roots. No subsequent guests were capable of speech. You may now understand why I am choosing not to take the cure. My time is short. Before I die, I must look upon what I have wrought. You're going through the pool? Hold out your hand. What? Take it. It's a little piece of paper. Take it. Now that is in your hands. I am going through the pool. You'll be mutated. It'll kill you. A fitting end. Perhaps if I'm lucky, I might get a glimpse of what lays on the other side. I have one more thing to ask of you, Elaine. If, for any reason, I re-emerge from the pool, I want you to kill me. But if I re-emerge, I will be in no shape to continue living. Do you understand? Goodbye, Elaine. I raise a glass to your future. Oh. my. That does not seem great, if you ask me. Well, I mean... Oh, there he is. I was going to say, he appears to be alright. Having a little Barney on the other side. Right, okay. You, sir, are too ugly and twisted to survive. So I'm sorry, but... What is going on? What is going on here? Right, okay, there we go. Let's use the Magnum for now. Yeah, he's completely lost the plot. Come back up, you ugly, mutated sack of pus. Come on. Kind of look like a testicle or something. A mutated testicle, nonetheless. Nice try, Crow. Oh dear. This is making things a little bit more awkward. Right, let's reload. Oh, we've got 1 round left. Is that enough to put him down? Yep. So if you get every round, it is enough to put him down. A small piece of paper given to me, but now I didn't read this before. 2106. Uninhabitable. Ruin. We come. 1988. Last chance. Warn. Stop. Change. Ah. Son of a... I didn't read that before. So that is why 2106 is written everywhere. It's the year 2106. Earth has, I guess, become uninhabitable. It's ruined. We come... Wow. Crow really messed everything up, didn't he? So these are humans from the future coming back to subvert catastrophe. But, you know, good old Crow bollocks the whole lot up. Elaine. It's... Shut up. I don't want to know. Elaine. You promised. Kill me. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's use the vial. I like the way they're all just sipping on the Kool-Aid. Crow Country, 4 miles away, staring into the flames. I feel something. It's a curious mixture of hope and dread. Maybe everything will be okay. And maybe it won't. And there we have it, Crow Country. Can I say that this has become one of my favorite games of all time? What a story. Now, it's not Shakespeare, but what a breath of fresh air that story was in a survival horror game. And there was a nice healthy twist at the end. I can't believe I didn't think to read the piece of paper. I didn't even know you could go into your inventory at the end of the game, which is why I was fiddling around with it then. Yeah, so the whole they weren't zombies, they weren't mutants. It was all a malfunction caused by Crow's greed. And ironically, these were people coming back in time from the future to try and save the planet, which I guess Crow has now doomed into an eternal existence. I'm guessing the disease that they were covered in was what they were running from, but they probably came back with the knowledge of how to stop it. But obviously, because Crow fucked everything up so spectacularly, there's nothing that can be done. And we got the best rank. What a game. So, we're going to do one more quick little bonus video at the end of this, and it's going to show what we unlock. We get the crowbar, the Cronade launcher, and crow wings. All kind of useful and kind of cool little fun things, really. I enjoyed everything about this game. I enjoyed the art style. The combat was a little bit weird. You know, how you have to stop and aim, and you're kind of aiming in a 3D space. It's not like the Resident Evil games where you aim up, down, and, you know, there weren't exactly full 360 degrees of movement like there is in this, but you get used to it. The game itself was easy, but it wasn't to its detriment, because the gameplay really did take a back seat to the atmosphere and the story of this game. I would say it's like Silent Hill, whereas the combat just gets in the way of, you know, you want the combat in there. It's important, I think, to have some level of resistance. But the gameplay was definitely a backseat to the overall world building and the characters. I'd be curious to see what happens next. Are we going to get a second game? Or if they do make another horror game, is it just going to be sort of like Silent Hill? You know, it's going to have the same sort of name, but it's going to be a completely different story. I don't know. I mean, the way this game ended, it was pretty final. But I guess they could continue on because the pool's still there. I don't know if the pool regenerates, if given time. Are the roots going to grow back? I'm not sure. There's so many questions that I still have. But it's one of those games that explains enough, kind of definitively, actually, to be fair. It explains everything you need to know. But it just has a few lingering questions. Now, one thing I did notice as I was editing, and I didn't notice whilst I was playing the game, at least it's something that's been in my back of my mind for a while. The actual handgun sounds kind of like the Resident Evil gunshot sounds. And the only reason I've even twigged up on that is because I've been playing Resident Evil on my Ally recently. And I'm like, wait a minute, that gun sound effect. Another little nod. Yeah, I want to see more from these guys because that game was a complete breath of fresh air. Now, I know it's not for everybody. The art style is a big barrier. For me, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the visual style. I liked how all the rooms felt like little toy boxes that you're looking into, and they were insanely detailed. I wish the game was higher resolution, but I get it. You know, that's the style they were going for. The replayability of this game is pretty good, I would say, if you want to go back through and get all the Crystal Crows. I've already done that. And there are unlockables. But once you've got that, there isn't really a huge amount of reason to go back through, I would say. But then, you know, I've completed the game 4 times now. The fact that it is a short game and it's relatively densely packed means it doesn't outstay its welcome. This is definitely one of those games that didn't need to be 40 hours. I'm looking at The Last of Us 2. That game really didn't need to be 40 hours. Definitely should have been 10. Would have been a better game, just saying. But yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of that, guys. I enjoyed, you know, everything about the enemies as well. You know, the descriptions of them, how they were just humans that were just mutated. So I'm curious, like, what's happening on the other side of that portal? Are they just because the virus isn't going away, or their side isn't getting sorted out? Are they just sending more people through? I don't know. There's a lot to think about. This is one of those games that's going to stick with me for a long, long time. And yeah, the best praise I can give this game is from a story standpoint. It did something different. It was fresh. Even Mr. Crow, he was just greedy. He wasn't necessarily a pure evil lab scientist who'd gone mental and decided to create a disease to kill everybody for reasons. You know, he was just a businessman that dug too deep. And all of his workers as well, they weren't evil. They were, you know, pretty believable people, even though they were only given, you know, modest amounts of character development. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up because I'm going to ramble on about this game for ages. We're on 40 minutes. But we're going to do a bonus video. Going to show off the unlockables. Probably only be about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes long. But yeah, cannot praise this game enough. God damn. Like, I don't like ranking my games. Like, you know, if you ask me what my top 10 video games are of all time, it'll probably change every day. But yeah, this is one of the best survival horror games out there. And I've got more survival horror coming up next. So it's going to be interesting to see how it stacks up to this. But I cannot recommend this game enough. Thank you very much for watching, guys. And as always, till next time.